on. A lot of the protesters are here. They're dressed in all red, all black, in berets and so on. And the message today, or the reason for the protest really, is to ask the governor of the Bank of Ghana and his deputies to step down. I'm going to move now to talk to some of the protesters led by the minority who are here. Mr. Ejenim Boateng. So Ejenim Boateng is the deputy youth organizer for the NPP in Bunu East. NDC, I beg your pardon, in Bunu East. So what's happening today?
I want to say good morning to your viewers this morning. This morning, as you can see, people are wearing black, red, all over. We are demonstrating to show our displeasure on how the Central Bank of Ghana, that is the Bank of Ghana, has been mismanaged under the leadership of one Addison. And so today, if you could remember, the minority started this fight. The fight started gaining momentum. And so as we speak today, we are demanding that the said Addison, who is the governor of the Bank of Ghana, must go, because he has superintended a lot of corrupt activities within the bank, a bank that is supposed to, supervise all banks in the country. In itself is corrupt under his leadership. So the minority members of parliament, the National Democratic Congress, all youth in Ghana, all well-meaning people in this country are demanding for the immediate removal of the Bank of Ghana governor. And that is what we are doing today. We want to go and occupy the Bank of Ghana to show our displeasure towards how they have mismanaged the entity, and how at large Ghana has been mismanaged by the NPP government.
Okay, now the police have said that you cannot go and occupy the Bank of Ghana because it's a security zone. And so a new route has been demarcated for you to use. When you said you were going to occupy the Bank of Ghana, did you mean you will still go to the Bank of Ghana?
When we go to the river, we shall cross it. Currently, as I speak to you, the leadership of the party, the leadership of minority are in a crunch meeting, coming to tell us where we should go.
Who are they meeting with?
They are meeting themselves. The party leadership is having a tete-a-tete meeting. We want to do that. And when they come out, we will know the route to follow.
Are you engaging the police in this tete-a-tete?
I think that the police has been engaged severally over the days. And today, the will of the people is in our own hands. And our destiny is in our own hands. We have to protest to save the future of this country, now or never. And that is what we are doing.
All right, so the protest was set to start at 8 a.m. It's about 40 minutes past 8. Have you begun, or are you still waiting for more people to come?
We are still waiting for more people to come. There are people coming coming from the length and breadth of this Greater Accra region and other places. And so we are waiting for them. You know, you've witnessed demonstrations before. You wouldn't get the startup point at early as at 8 o'clock, and you expect people to move at that same time. And so we are anticipating that by 9:30 to 10, we'll get a lot of people coming on their way to come and support.
How many people are you expecting?
We are expecting over 5,000 people on the streets of Accra today. And I think that it will send a signal to the government. It will send a signal to all people in this country that we are not in normal times.
All right. Thank you so much for talking to us. So I was talking there to Ejenim Boateng. He is the original deputy youth organizer for the NDC. And he specifically spoke about the route for the demonstration. Now, the police has told us and the protesters that the Bank of Ghana is a security zone, and so they are not allowed to bring the protest to the premises of the Bank of Ghana. He's, however, saying now that the leadership of the party is in a meeting and they will decide what to do moving on from here, because they want to move to the Bank of Ghana. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Alhaji Mohammed Naziru. I'm a member of the National Communication Team of the NDC.
Amazing. Now, you're here to protest.
Yes.
All right. Now, I've just been speaking to one of your colleagues, and he tells me that even though the police has said that you cannot move to the Bank of Ghana, the leadership of your party is in a meeting now, and they're deliberating as to whether or not you want to move there. Must you necessarily move to the Bank of Ghana to make your claim or your point, put your point across?
Our demonstration is against the Bank of Ghana governor. We cannot demonstrate in a vacuum. We cannot walk and stand somewhere to assume the Bank of Ghana governor has listened to the cry of the good people of Ghana. We certainly must get to the Bank of Ghana. He must see the agitations. He must see the wailing souls in the country that are, very angry about his mismanagement and lack of, commitment to ensuring that the country's economy will sit well so that the good people of Ghana will benefit from the resources of our great country. So we must definitely go to the Bank of Ghana to let him see what is really happening in the country.
Okay, now, if the governor is watching you now, we're live on TV3 New Day, what will be your message to him?
It's very simple. Resign. Resign. The governor of Bank of Ghana must resign. He has no reason to continue to stay in office with this mess that he has created, with his lack of concern to the plight of mostly the youth of this country, who have finished, some of them just finished their national service, and they have no hope. There is nowhere to turn to. Even the national service allowances that is due them has not been paid to them. So what else do you continue to stay in office to do? The governor of Bank of Ghana has no reason to continue to be in office. He must just resign. I mean, he shouldn't have waited for this demonstration. Waiting for this demonstration to show to the Bank of Ghana our sadness, our anger is a clear show that is unconcerned with the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian.
If the governor does not resign after this protest, what will be your next steps as a party?
We will continue to agitate using every legal and democratic means to ensure our voice is heard and the right thing is done. That is what we'll continue to do.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So I've been talking to some leaders of the organizers of the protests, the NDC, and they're saying they want the Bank of Ghana to resign immediately. I beg your pardon, the biggest concern now really is the routes that the police has approved for today's protest. The protest is to begin from here, the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, and move all the way through Adabraka, through the Atta Mills Highway, and then back to the Independence Square. Now, I'm joined by our lead reporter, Egbeta, on the protest. Now, you've occupied, I beg your pardon, you have reported on many protests and demonstrations in this country, as I can remember. So far, the protest was supposed to start at 8 a.m., and you've been here since. So far, what are your general observations?
Well, it's just early days yet, really, in terms of protests of this nature. The expectation is they will not start at 8 a.m. as announced, because they're waiting for a lot more individuals to come through. So when we were making our way from the office even, you could see persons dotted from across the ring road who are headed here. There have been buses who've come through as well with different groups of individuals. We must bear in mind that in the lead up to this particular protest, the leadership of the minority have gone through to meet towns. They've organized town halls successively, community engagement to seek to whip up support ahead of this protest. And the minority leader and then the minority chief whip, Governor Agoja, have all come through as well already this morning. I will be seeking to perhaps get thoughts from them as well. But they're waiting for more individuals to come through. The crowd will build up. Then perhaps there'll be a few addresses from here before they begin to move towards. I
think I see Atu Forson speaking here. Let's go over there and hear what he's saying.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you.
Yes, sir, if I may speak to you. There have been concerns about the direction of the police and the approved route for this demonstration. However, we are told that the leadership of your party is in a meeting now, and the agenda is whether or not you will still go to the Bank of Ghana, even though you've been asked not to come there because it's a security zone. Is this correct?
I'm not aware of a meeting with the police. But what I can assure you is that we, the NDC minority, believes that the petition must be received by the governor himself and no other person. We are going to march to the entrance of the central bank, and the leadership of the NDC minority must be allowed to see the governor at the central bank.
But you are told not to come there because it's a security zone. Will you go there anyway?
Well, the protest is just starting.
That would be flouting the Public Order Act, wouldn't it?
No, we informed the police that they should first inform us or show us where the security zone ends. And we are going to do a U-turn at the end or the beginning of the security zone.
Have they showed you that?
And it has. Well, if they will show us, then we are waiting for it. As we speak, they have not informed us where the security zone ends. So our position is simple: we will march with the protesters, and we hope to end at the beginning or the end of the security zone, and then the leadership of the NDC minority must be allowed into the central bank to deliver our petition.
What will you do if you are not allowed?
We will be allowed.
Chief, madam, we are starting. You don't push. Let's see what happens today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, minority leader one.
All right, so Enoch, we're back, and we'll be there. We're there till the whole time when this Occupy BOG demo wraps up, and Nashoko doing some great work during that interaction. And you wanted to wrap up, Enoch.
Yeah.
So you've seen the minority leader giving government the ultimatum. President, of course, is appointing authority.
It's sad.
What is that?
It's sad that we are doing this to our country. Though the Bank of Ghana has made losses, central banks are not mandated to make profits. Certainly. So around the world, they have a duty. And so, Bernard, you keep your composure. No, you are.
So they are mandated to make 60
billion. With the 60 billion losses,
so
with the 60 billion losses, we know that per the revaluation of the CD, the debt exchange program, they suffered same 30%, and all this Telecom Malaysia bonds that has existed on their payrolls, their bonds for longer time, 2004, 2005, 2014, 2012, all these things were put together. It suffered a 50%.
So what's the argument? We're not in this alone.
Certainly, they are
COVID, Russia, Ukraine.
Certainly, we are in crisis and in emergency situations. We call that. Certainly, we must take certain drastic decisions. Okay. And with the $250 million Bank of Ghana office, Mr. Iwadakon, a prominent figure and a prospective running mate to the former President John Dramani Mahama. We don't have any prospective running mate. Kingsley Iwadakon, in 2014, offered to sell a 5.2-acre land to the Bank of Ghana for the construction of this same office at $32.5 million US. 5.2 acres land around Northridge.
Proposed
32. So if just 5-acre land.
They proposed.
The proposal was just around $30-something million.
Bernard, so you're going to the demonstration. What should we be expecting?
It's true.
Bernard, please. Bernard is the chief leader for this.
First and foremost, the demonstration will come on as planned. As you can see, some of our colleagues are already on ground.
And we'll be going there immediately after.
There is no doubt that people are certainly unhappy about the poor management of our monetary space. It is unthinkable that you'll have a governor who knows that by rule he is supposed to engage the Minister for Finance, the Controller General, for the three of them to agree if they have to exceed 5% of previous year's revenues in terms of what they can give to government. You have printed in excess of 77 billion cedis given to Minister for Finance. At the end of the day, this minister
That's not true.
is said to be owning banks in the Gambia,
That's not true.
in Liberia, and making
That's not true.
and making you sitting
70
here
billion printed. That's not true.
making you sitting here poor and hungry.
You don't have
You mean ordinary Ghanaian?
No, he in
I'm not
particular,
What
poor
makes
and
me poor?
hungry.
No, Ben,
Poor
what makes
and
me
hungry.
poor?
So you'll be going there?
Why? You can't see my
He should be
costume.
going there.
So you should be very disappointed in the Minister for Finance, in the Governor of the Bank of Ghana. You should join in
Jean
this
Mensa
matter. No.
is a big problem. The women are becoming problem.
So you should be part of this.
$dollars in my
should I be
Chris
part of
from
It's not the woman, it's just this.
Ashali Boche.
I'm hungry doesn't mean
You are a hungry man.
Isaha Kutamale. Did I hear the MP communicator say that all central banks are not mandated to make profit by losses?
without any principle.
We're taking a break. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We're full time on the demonstration. We also have one of the leading contestants for the finale, Ghana's Most Beautiful, this Sunday, right here in the studio today. So we'll cover the demonstration, come to studio for the most beautiful women contestants, and we'll get to know what they think about all things TV3 and looking forward to the contest on Sunday. Stay with us, we'll be right back.